Hi guys, today we're going to be planting bulbs and I really enjoy doing projects like this because it gives me a chance to just come out here, grab a few supplies and just, go to flower bed and just plant beautiful, pretty things. And it's a quiet, peaceful, enjoying project. And I really like those sometimes, especially days like today. It is beautiful. Look at that. The sun is shining. Can you guys see it? I don't want to blind you. We've got blue skies. It is 50 some degrees this morning. It is the perfect day to plant bulbs. And that's what we're going to be doing. So my main focus is going to be the little tiny flower bed right along the fence where the retaining wall was put in, because that is only like an 8-inch bed. And I can't really think of anything to plant there that would not outgrow its space too much. So I figured for now I would just plant some bulbs. We'll get some beautiful spring color. I've got some alliums to plant in there as well so we can get some pollinator action going. And I'm focusing today on blues, purples, whites, and yellows. That's going to be the color scheme for all the bulbs that we plant today. And like I said, we're going to do that bed first, and then we're probably just going to go around to like the butterfly garden and maybe a couple of the beds out front and just plant little pockets and groups of bulbs. So we'll see. But let me show you what we're working with first, and then we'll head on over to the first flower bed and I'll show you everything, how I'm going to plant them, and then we'll just barrel right on through it. So these are the bulbs that we're going to be planting today. I've got 3 different varieties, all in various shades of purples and yellows and whites, all with varying leaf structures as well. I've got crocus here with these nice deep dark green leaves, these rich bold purples, bright yellows and whites. I've got some anemones over here, and these have a much more open and dainty flower bloom. I've got these like almost like light lavender pinky flowers, some nice whites, and even a dark purple, which to me kind of looks a little more blue. And I'm okay with that. I just think they're just so pretty. And they all have these yellow and green centers. And between these 2 colors alone, I think it's just going to be like a nice mix of spring color. And then, last but not least, we've got some purple and white alliums. And these are just kind of whimsical and fun to me because they kind of remind me of like cake pops, or dandelions. They just kind of come straight up and just put on this nice, beautiful bloom show. And these get 36 inches tall. So these I'm going to focus mostly on the flower bed by the fig tree and the retaining wall, and probably just put them like right in the center, and then just kind of mix all of the other 2 varieties around. So we have a nice low growing flowering show, and then these will just rise up out of the center. And I think that'll just be so fun. I've also got my kneeling pad, my gloves, I've got some bulb tone to help feed the bulbs throughout the winter, and I've got my 3-inch auger here, which is just so helpful when you're digging a lot of holes. And I even have my little handle just in case I need it. So now let me take you over to the first flower bed and show you what I'm thinking of doing over here. So this is the first area that we're going to be planting up today, and this is the retaining wall right here. Here is the little Z. This is the little dwarf spruce that we just planted, and this is the area that we've got to work with, and it is probably about 8 inches from the fence to the grass line, and it goes from that post all the way down to the front gate over here. So we've got a good distance of a bed to work with, and I'm thinking I'm just going to just randomly dig holes all over and plant the crocus and the anemones, and then right in the center I'll probably zigzag the holes for the allium bulbs. That way in spring, when this whole area blooms, we'll have the crocus and the anemones about 4 to 6 inches high, and then right from the center the allium blooms will pop up and just kind of hang out right around the top of the fence. And I think that's going to be so cool. You can also see that the grass is filling in. We do have a few patchy areas here, But for the most part, it has filled in quite nicely. It's a little thin over here. I did reseed this section, but it has pretty much filled in all the way to the back fence. I thought I'd give you a quick update on the grass since I have mentioned it in previous videos and we were already out here, so why not? So what I'm thinking I'm gonna do is I'm gonna show you guys step by step how I plant these bulbs, and then I will just kind of go into a mass planting mode and get them all planted up. And if I didn't mention it before, I'm gonna try and plant as much as I can today until my foot tells me otherwise. So I think I want to start right here by the Z post and just work our way all the way down to the white pillar over there. And then once we have everything planted, we'll move on to the next bed. So this is what a bulb looks like. This is the top, that is the bottom, this is the roots, and this is the growth point. When we go to plant these, we are going to plant them with the root side facing down into the soil and the growth point facing up. So when these things start to grow in the spring, they can go straight up and out of the ground. And I am just going to follow the directions on the back of the bag for how deep to plant them. With the crocus and the anemones, we're going to plant them 3 inches down, and I believe the alliums are 6 inches. First, we'll drill our hole. Next, we'll add in some bulb tone. Give it a good little mix. Then we'll take our bulb and place it down, root side down. There's the growth point facing up. Cover it up. We'll water it in and it's good to go. Now I'll show you how to plant the allium. This is the allium bulb and it's the same thing. The growth point is right on top. There's the root system and we're just going to plant it 6 inches deep on this one per the bag instructions. Dig our hole. Little bulb tone. And we're going to place it right down in the hole. This is 6 inches deep. That's the growth point. The roots are right on the soil. And then we just cover it up. All right, guys, I got all the bulbs planted. I think I planted about 300. And you know, I always forget this every year. Bulbs are like mulch, you know, they just don't go that far. But then again, I did pack that one bed by the retaining wall full of bulbs. So next spring, we should have quite the show. Now, the area doesn't look any different than before because obviously everything is happening underground. But I will go around real quick and just kind of walk you through my thought process on what I hope will happen next spring. Come on, let's go. So over here, this is the bed that I planted a majority of the bulbs. And what I'm hoping for is that we just get this nice big burst of color in the springtime, and then late spring, early summer, you know, with the alliums that kind of pop up too. And they will bring in some pollinators, because what we're going to be doing too is right over here, we're going to be adding some raised beds. So I would like to get some pollinator action in here as well. So what I'm also thinking of doing is, after these bulbs and stuff do their spring show in the summertime, I'll probably come in with like some zinnia seeds and just plant a big, huge drift of zinnia seeds from one end to the other, and then just kind of let them do their thing. Because again, this is a pretty narrow space. It's only about 8 inches. So I'm sure the zinnias will get a little wider and they can kind of creep into the edge of the grass a little. But I can't think of anything else right now that would bring in a lot of color and pollinators and not get super big. If you guys have any suggestions, please let me know in the comments section. I would greatly appreciate it. Now let's go out to the front beds. So over here in the 2 front beds, I had about 50 of the anemones and crocus bulbs left. So what I did is I just kind of came in and randomly dug or auged some holes and just put a couple of the anemones and crocuses in each hole, just pretty much kind of sporadically throughout. And we'll just let them kind of pop up here, there, and everywhere, kind of like willy-nilly freestyle. Did the same thing in this bed. Popped a few in the back, a few in the middle, a few all around the edge, and we'll just let them come up and put on a nice little show. And this will not look like too placed, because I did just kind of randomly go and just pop them in wherever I thought would look good. And I didn't plant any bulbs in the butterfly garden because we're going to be shifting a couple things around there. So I kind of didn't really want to plant bulbs and then end up just kind of disturbing the soil. So in this space right here, the butterfly garden, what is going to happen, I'll give you a quick update, is the limelight hydrangea is going to be rehomed. The sedum is probably going to move somewhere over to here. We'll probably have another evergreen over here, or a shrub of some sort, some pollinator attracting shrub, and some pollinator attracting perennials here. And that's pretty much what we've got planned out so far. But this will probably be happening in the next few days. I told you guys I like to play musical chairs with my plants. I think it's part of the fun. Anyways, guys, I hope you guys get a chance to get out there in your garden, get your hands dirty, get some bulbs planted, get some perennials in the ground before the winter comes, because it's creeping up on us quickly. Anyways, guys, thanks so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next one. Have a great day. Bye. Oh, I forgot to mention, the anemones and the alliums are hardy in zones 4 through 10, and the crocus are hardy in zones 3 through 9. All right, guys, bye.